So we had a bit of feedback in Clipflow that is a bit slow. And the reason for that is because our servers are hosted in Australia and most of our customers are in the Americas. So the first solution to that is we are moving infrastructure over to the US. So that'll solve a lot of problems. But being a server-rendered app, there is a slight delay when you click on things. So like when you click on a button to launch a modal, there could be 100 to 200 millisecond delay at best. So we decided to rewrite our front end in something we know and love very well, is React. If you don't know what that is, the React's a front end framework for building web applications and actually mobile applications. A whole bunch of cool things came from Facebook many years ago. We use it on our last business to build everything pretty much, and it was amazing and allows you to build really nice UIs. So the first piece of the puzzle that we rebuilt is our new idea list, and in comparison to the old one, you can see it's a bit more modern looking. All right, this is the old Clipflow screen. So sidebar modals, stuff like that, very different filters. So it's still pretty good. Like, not awful, it does the job. And then when you click on something, you get into this kind of screen here, right? So we really wanted to improve ideation because we've had a lot of people ask about this, and it is an important part of working, and especially for users like just that run their own channels, but also people like, I guess, agencies that make content for other people. Like they need to ideate for their customers. So the new one is this. This is the new looking screen here. I've zoomed in a little bit. We've got a new organization selector with a search, which means that when you have a lot of users, like some of our people have 30 clients, it makes it very easy to filter. We've got the new modal, which is a very big change for us here. You can go big, small, but you're writing more like, this is my idea in here, and it's more probably what you'd expect and see in things like linear and tools like that, right? Then we got our tags here. So it's way more modern. You can add links in and you can create more. So it's just a much tidier version of what we had. And then here we got the same old drag and drop. We've also introduced this little peak mode. So we could hide a little bit of UI, keep everything condensed so that this list can grow, which we've seen. But then you can also just peek into ideas if you want to. You can just quickly have a look at things. And this is where we can introduce more information as we go to make it easier to find things. The next thing, which is really cool, is once you jump in, we've got this whole new experience, right? So if you compare it to this one, you now have a full chat that we expose all the time, because this is going to be a very powerful feature of Clipflow, is the ability to chat to your team. We'll talk about who your team are in a second. You now have a full outline here, which is full, like the projects, a full rich text editor. You've got all your tags here. So it's a much more condensed. You can see like here, we've just got 3 tags, whereas in the past we'd have them layered as drops here. So it just gets a bit messier, faster. So this keeps it a lot cleaner. And then the big change to this whole new system is this sidebar here, which we're kind of moving towards more of an IDE experience. So what that means is basically this guy, what we use to code as software developers, but we're bringing that into content space. It just allows you to find files way faster, and it's built for lots of files. So what we were finding in Clipflow was we'd have users say like, I don't want this piece here on this screen, I want it on this screen. And we kind of try to build screens that to our best of ability, but you can never solve for everything or for everyone. They all want different kind of flows. So what we've done now is we've moved all your files or your assets into the sidebar. So it makes it way easier. So if you had pages in Clipflow, you used to have a little drop down box to jump between pages. Now they'll just be listed here. So it's way faster to navigate to. And then this chat now is super powerful in a sense that you can like just drop a link. For instance, if we were talking about this one here, I wanted to use this for my research. I just literally drop this in here, send it, and it's going to add a link in for us. And you can now see that we've got this building a multi-region app link here. And what we've gone and done is when you click on this, you can see we've gone and unfurled it. So basically collected the information about the link. You can see it down here. It's real nice and easy. But we've also gone and grabbed you a summary. We now summarize these pages. It makes it really easy to collect research when you're doing or creating ideas. So especially for someone like me who writes code things, if I want to talk about a specific thing, I can just grab the quick, give me the cliff notes on this. And then I can chat about this with my team here on the side and then just jump straight back into the idea. And it's very quick. This is running in development, so it's a little bit slower than introduction, but it's still very fast. And that was one of the key requirements for us. That's what we're busy building now. And then along with that, we also got this whole focus mode. So a lot of time when you're trying to write, you don't want any distractions, and you can just hit that and you get the full focus happening here, and away you go. So yeah, we just wanted to give you guys a quick look at that. And then Daryl, did you want to just chat about like what this means for the future of the app and where we're kind of heading?
Yeah, so this one all of these changes have been sort of guided by where we want the app to be in the future. And it was very hard to figure out how to make everything fit with the old layout. One of the main reasons we decided we need to rebuild the front end and rebuild the design was because you put everything in at the start just to see what works and what doesn't. And then you realize, oh, we can't keep going down the same path we were going on. This enables us to be much more, not just flexible, but able to store way more things with way more flexibility. So like Ken said, it can be suitable for any type of user without overwhelming them. And when these changes pass into project and in ideas, there's so many more things that we can add because we've got like a lot of ideas about how to essentially make everyone more efficient and approach this from an angle of not many other softwares are able to do it because they all have to tack AI onto their existing solutions. We want to approach it from the other way where like everything we're doing here, we're sort of considering how can AI not replace people to create content, but just really enable them so that you don't have to go through, like at the moment when I'm doing something in Clipflow, I will jump out, new tab, go to ChatGPT, ask it a question, copy paste it, take it into another thing. Like you don't want to be doing that, but we also don't want this tool to be like, it's just an AI content generator. This is specifically about project management, enabling you to work with teams, whether that team is you and your actual team members, or if the team is an AI partner, such as Flow that Ken's got tagged there, who summarized something for him or wrote hooks for him, and building out those team members, potentially allowing people to customize their team members so they can have their own customizations on this. And also this same sort of layout will be present in some capacity for all of your channels so that you can have documents that inform both your hired team, your contractors, your editors. They can go to your channel, see what the typical editing guidelines are in the same way that anyone who you invite into these convos as an AI can read those things. And so you can get much better results without having to constantly re-prompt, remember the best prompt, go and look up this prompt for hook generation. Shouldn't have to do any of that. It will be built in with the ability to customize it. That's sort of the dream of it. And then the file explorer specifically, it sort of has to work for thousands of files essentially, because like what we're basically seeing is you have an agency customer, they're not just making one video on a project. So when we started this, we were thinking like one YouTube video will have tasks inside it. That's great. As an agency, you might have a monthly project with your customer and you have to deliver 30 shorts in the month. Each one of those shorts has 10 tasks. It has an outline, it has a script, it has edited media, might have different packaging, might not have packaging, like all of those things. It was going to become impossible really fast to navigate Clipflow and actually find what you were looking for, which is what the File Explorer is aiming to address. And my favorite thing, absolutely favorite thing, is with the chat window, you sort of just have the freedom to explore ideas without committing to putting something into an input field. So the thing that I found restrictive with the old Clipflow is like, I'm only putting a title into the title field when I'm sure that that's one of the options. In the chat, you can put whatever you want. People can see that everyone has been working around these ideas and then commit the things to the project when you're ready without feeling like, oh, I don't want to put that idea in because it's not really fully fleshed out. I don't want it to like be taken by another team member and they take the wrong path because it's not like into the actual project elements. So this like chat ideation board project management, like it's just going to be so good for the ephemeral conversations around things with you being able to select and take things into the project when you're ready after discussing with both your team or even AI. Like, I've got an idea to do this, can you help me work through it, and then pull it into the project when it's actually a fully fleshed idea, and you get the full historical log of like where it came from as well, which is cool.
Yeah. It's very cool. And I think the way we're approaching it is slightly different to most chat apps or apps that implement chat, because usually chat to a single AI, which is being tuned and trained in one way for the app. The way we're seeing this is a little bit different because I hate that kind of stuff. I was really hesitant to put AI into Clipflow, but there are pieces where it just makes sense, right? Like summarizing an article, for instance, that's a no-brainer. Like, do that for me. I don't want to read the whole thing. I just pull out the best parts. But what we thought here is cool. It's just another team member, right? So in the bottom here, when you're talking, you just can go like, you got a whole bunch of people, but then you have your AI agent, and which you can name whoever you want. Flow is the default from Clipflow. And when you tag Flow, you're talking to a teammate that is an AI agent, right? Or an assistant. So you can ask Flow whatever you want, and you can then also create your own. So what we're seeing this where we want this to go is you can create your own assistants, and then you can choose which models you want to run with. Do you want to use ChatGPT or OpenAI's models? Do you want to use Claude's models? Do you want to use the Google Gemini model? You can tune it how you want. But what we're still going to do for you to alleviate a lot of that work is inject content. What's your business about? Like who are you selling to? Who's your core audience? So that we inform regardless of model you're using, of what the context is, and then we inject the context of the page. So like these are the current, and this is the current outline, this is the current chat. So you don't have to do that every time. So that saves heaps of the thing. And then also the ability for you to define your system prompts. So if you want to fine tune the way it responds to you, you can do that. So we're not trying to get in the way and kind of come up with the be all and most advanced chatbot that we think, because everyone makes content in a different way. They have different types of ways of presenting. They have different tones of voice. They have a whole bunch of things. And if you've already developed prompts that you like, chuck them in. And guess what? You don't have to jump out. You never have to context switch, which is super important. So it was a really exciting feature for us to actually build. It was a big thing because like all of this stuff is new. We never had tagging because it wasn't really necessary. Everyone in the project gets notified. But now when you want to actually direct a comment at a specific agent, that was different. Real-time updates of our comments, like in the past, wasn't a thing. Doing a whole bunch of stuff in the background, working with agents, working with LLMs. A whole bunch of like big moonshot kind of ideas that we had. We really want to use this ideation space to play with it, get feedback, and then we're going to roll this out to projects like Daryl said, because I think it's going to be even more powerful inside of projects. We've got so many ideas for it as well. Yeah, just really wanted to smash this one out of the park, and that's why we've been spending so much time on it basically.
We're going to be rolling out the new layout for ideas in the next couple of weeks. There'll be a link in the description. If you're already in Clipflow, jump in the Slack and let us know that you want to be one of the first to test it out. And if you're not already in, jump into Clipflow, test it out now. It still works really well. It does a really good job if you're a content creator and you're managing things with a team. It's only going to get better when this is launched. So there's no time like the present to get involved before the early adopters free packages disappear and you have to pay to use it.
Yep. And I think the key thing there is if you jump in early, you become a bit of a favorite. You're not allowed to have favorites when you have children, but we do have favorites when you join during the early adopters. So we listen to those users more than the people in the future because they've jumped on early. So if you have anything or ideas or features or wish list things, you can now's the time to tell us and we can build.
Yeah, if you're already doing stuff like this, if you're already running AI to help you do your channel, getting it into here in the right way will be informed by the way your current process works. So definitely get involved.
Awesome. Thanks, team.
Nice.
Catch you later.